Good afternoon, it's Dave at ATI Watch Reviews. Please smash the like button and please smash that subscribe button for more awesome watch content. If you click the bell icon, you can ensure that you get updates, notifications when I post a new video. And also check out my Instagram page because I do post on there regularly now. Little wristwatch check. I've actually got my GST-B400 on, the resin band model, a beautiful all-rounder. Stunning all-rounder that was released last year. And this one, I did an unboxing about a month ago. And this is, if you're going to get it on a bracelet, this is just a kind of confirmation video. This is, in my view, the one to get. This is the B400 on a bracelet to get if you are going to buy it on a bracelet. Now this is, it's a bit of a tongue twister, but this is the GST B400D, sorry, B400XD 1A2JF for Japanese market. It is a Japanese market domestic model, so it's not yet been released in Europe or America. I've no idea why, because it would fly off the shelves with this colour combo. But they have released it in Japan, and off some websites like eBay and so forth, you can actually import it, as I did. It has the carbon fibre bezel, which makes it look just simply stunning. It's one of the nicest G-Shocks I've ever had. And I've had some real beauts, but this is up there. It's one of the nicest I've ever seen. Not just the bezel, the dial itself with the blue chapter ring, the blue G-Shock and the cog complements the black and the dark grey really nice. There is a solar panel on this watch. It's a spec monster. It is it's tough solar, which means it's Casio solar powered technology, so you'll probably get, as a guess, between something like 7 to 10 years out of the solar battery that recharges constantly. I think off a single use, if it was in pitch black, it will last for 6 months on a full charge. Not that you would ever do that. It's 200 meter water resist. It's fully solid stainless steel bracelet. There's more symmetry to the dial than this year's model. This year's model is the G500. Sorry, the B500. This is the B400, which is technically a last year's model. But they sometimes release additional colours and stuff later on, and I think this is what they've basically done with this model. And you know, specs wise, with that solar, with a 200 meter water resist, with the fully solid bracelet, it is a premium package. There is no question about it for the price that I paid. You'd be hard beat to find any company out there that does a watch of this caliber for the price that I paid. Even the way the bracelet is connected, the links are connected, is great. It's super easy to take them pins out. You just push your pin in, you just push your tool in, and it releases. It's like a little spring bar inside of it, basically. It's brilliant, and this is a more premium model than the B500. That's definite fact. And the more I look at it, the more I like the look of the B500 now, especially this model. Now, one thing of the B500, however, that's this year's model, that's not in this video, but I'll put a link down to it in the comment section. That has, in my view, superior proportions because the bracelet is even thinner and has better taper. This bracelet only tapers down to about 20 mil, which I think is unnecessarily wide for how big this watch is. The watch is considered small for a G-Shock, but it is still 160 odd grams, and it still has, it's probably 50 mil when you measure the case. The bezel will be smaller than that. The lug to lug is only about 46.5. The thickness on my model, I've just measured it again then, and I got an incredible 12.6 mil to the crystal. The bezel will be a little bit more proud of that. That is thin. It is thin, but it's still a big watch, and part of the reason why it's a big watch is because these lugs They should be tapering more, in my opinion. But that's what they fixed on this year's model, but they made this year's model slightly cheaper, which I don't agree with. So hopefully next year's, the B600, which I'm assuming will be out next year, will be a perfect match between the two. But this is still an absolutely all-round model. And what I would say is, because Casio's bands, at least within model numbers like reference B400, they are generally interchangeable. You can put this band on this watch, I believe. You should be able to do that, and I'm sure I've done it actually in a previous video. Yeah, you will be able to. You'll be able to put this band on this watch. They have different pins that connect them, but you should be able to do that. So because what I'm trying to tell you is that the bracelet, yeah, it's comfortable, but with it being completely solid, I think this watch is comfier on a rubber band, definitely. And I think the rubber band is one of the best rubber bands that Casio have ever done for comfort. It's more comfier than the other GSTEELs, in my opinion. This is the comfiest rubber band ever. So what I'm saying is, this watch, if you didn't like the bracelet and you was a rubber band guy or person, you can easily swap out and buy off either Casio Direct or off Watch Battery UK or off other third-party sellers online, like on eBay, these sellers and stuff. You could go and buy the official Casio OEM band for the B400, and you would need the connection points though. You'd need the connectors, but you could. I'm sure you could get them, and you could put this on it. So you could put the rubber band on this model to make it even comfier. So all in all, this is one of the best watches, in my honest opinion, you can buy. But for a sports watch that does everything with the solar power battery, the sub dials, obviously they're not going to be super legible because they've made them negative. I've never been a complete fan of negative dials, but on this watch in particular, because I use it for the analog time, I'm not really too bothered about the sub dials not being super legible. I mean, yeah, obviously making the sub dials more legible, or making them positive displays would affect the symmetry of the dial, and also would affect the legibility, possibly, of the analog hands. I would rather have it like this. The light is fantastic, it lights it up really clear. And the Lume is okay on the hands only. I don't know why they don't put them. I mean, it all depends on the watch model that you get. But on some of the cheaper, like sub 500 quid models, I think on the MTG, there is additional Lume. But on some of these G-Steels, even though I've had a G-Steel from 5 years ago that had the outer indices, they were lumed. I don't know, that I believe this outer ring here on the very edge of the dial, I believe that should be lumed. But for some reason, they're not doing it currently on the latest B400. I don't think they had it on the B100, 200, 300 and the 400. They've not done it, but they did it on the W33D. They did actually lume the outer one. That was a similar price model from 5 years ago. But anyway, I digress. Overall, it's still an absolute cracker. If you want to get it with the band, then you could always buy both and then you can switch them. Or if you don't want to import it from Japan, get the green bezel one. The green bezel one has the legibility, the legible indices, and looks fantastic. But as an overall watch, I'm really, really happy with this. It is an absolute beast, and it has looks to die for. It has everything I like about a sports watch. The bracelet, the bezel being that kind of military-esque bezel. It's kind of an all-occasion watch. Would look great with a leather jacket. Little wristwatch check. Yeah, this is definitely the bracelet model to get if you're going to get a B400. I mean, it's got some presence on the wrist, no question about it. But comfortable bracelet. I don't even think I took many links out. Cheers, it's been Dave. Have a great day.